Here are some of the top stories tonight on the 10 o'clock news as South Valley town joins the fight against gangs. Plus, Fresno police ran into more than just cars at one auto shop. See what else they found.
Also tonight, a community is outraged after an accused molester gets out of jail. Those stories and a whole lot more coming up next on the KMPH 10 o'clock news.
Now, the Valley's only primetime newscast. This is the KMPH 10 o'clock news.
Good evening. A huge bust for Fresno narc agents.
Once again, it's the drug of choice here in the Valley, methamphetamine. Undercover officers spent 2 weeks setting up a deal with the man who rents this auto shop for a mobile tune-up business. Today, officers met with him and 2 more men arrived in this town car to deliver the drugs. Police arrested the 3 and confiscated 10 pounds of meth and a 9mm handgun. The drugs have a street value of $200,000.
About 90% of the cases that we do are all methamphetamine. We do a little bit of heroin and a little bit of cocaine now and again, but drug of choice right now seems to be methamphetamine.
McIntyre says the drug is popular because it's cheap to make and cheap to buy. A hazardous materials spill closed Highway 198 for about an hour this afternoon. It happened on 198 at Interstate 5, about 2 miles west of I-5. Authorities say a tanker truck was slowly leaking phenol molten, a flammable material. A nearby Burger King had to be evacuated. The chemical could have been dangerous if inhaled or touched. CDF officials were on the scene for hours cleaning up the spill. Authorities reopened the road about 5:30.
Well, some of the town of Clovis are outraged tonight. Outraged that a former gym instructor accused of molesting several children is a free man. 22-year-old Christopher Morton posted a $50,000 bond late last night. His bail had been nearly $500,000, but a judge reduced it to $50,000. Morton used to be a gymnastics teacher at the Clovis Dance Academy. Several students came forward claiming that Morton had molested them. Angry parents at the Dance Academy say Morton's bail should never have been reduced.
Given the fact that, he has intervened in an area where they should have the opportunity to be safe, and then to have reduced down to $50,000, I think is extremely, extremely sad for our children and for our area.
Morton will be back in court on December the 16th. Fresno's latest weapon in fighting gang violence will be put to use this coming weekend, but some wonder if gang members will leave Fresno only to move into smaller surrounding areas. As Tiffany Peters reports tonight, at least one city is not worried about that problem.
The smaller towns and communities have seen their share of gang violence in recent months. Drive-by shootings in Orange Cove. In Visalia, police are patrolling Mooney Boulevard in response to gang shootings and stabbings. And last spring, Dale Longoria, the son of a reserve police officer, was shot and killed on a street corner in Sanger. Some say as Fresno police chase gang members out, many of them relocate to these areas, bringing trouble with them. But Sanger's chief of police says the new multi-agency gang enforcement consortium, or MAGIC, will help his community and others.
We'll have better information about what gang members live in Sanger, what their activities are with the other gangs in Fresno, and we'll be able to better coordinate our activities.
Bart says he plans to use MAGIC to target gang members who cause the most problems.
It's been our experience that when the more prolific members of the gang are in state prison, our crime rates tend to drop.
Chief Bart says he's optimistic this new MAGIC team will also help him clean up city streets and get rid of gang violence here. In Sanger, I'm Tiffany Peters for the 10 o'clock news.
A rural South Valley community is also preparing to fight back as gangs start to make their way into town. As the criminal element moves in, residents step up to shut it out. Mike Cully reports.
By all appearances, the town of Layton looks quiet and certainly safe enough. A family-oriented community where everyone knows everyone else. Hardly the type of place you'd expect to find big city crime. All true until lately.
Gangs, not a lot of them, but a lot of shooting. I heard about that. It's pretty quiet around here, but except for that shooting and stuff, everybody got all, scared and stuff. Sometimes it's kind of scary and sometimes it's not.
Are there gang problems out here?
Yeah, sometimes.
What do you see?
The drive-bys and everything, and stuff.
Just a month ago, gunfire woke up this sleepy little town, and attempted drive-by shooting spurred a community to take action.
It's the first time we've had something like that occur here, but we've had gang graffiti and gang marchers and things like that.
And it's my pleasure to come down from Sacramento to help Layton Unified School District.
Tonight, state, county, and local leaders met with residents to talk about the problem. The solution appeared self-evident.
If you can get as many people involved in preventing violence, crime, and drug and substance abuse, then that's more people that you can have that's aware of watching these kids. And in a small town like Layton, that's very important.
And equally important is the thrust the community will place on youth. The equation, they say, is simple. Give kids more opportunity and more to do, and watch the crime rate fall. Reporting from Layton, Mike Cully for the 10 o'clock news.
It was a week ago tomorrow that a horrible accident took the lives of a Fresno mother and her daughter. Thanksgiving morning, a pickup truck crashed into a big rig parked on the curb along Kings Canyon. 31-year-old Linda Dirksen was ejected and died at the scene. Her 8-year-old daughter, Penny, died during surgery at University Medical Center. Penny's father, Greg Dirksen, was driving the pickup and doesn't remember much about what happened. The funeral for Linda and her daughter will be tomorrow. A fund has been set up at Glendale Federal Bank for those who wish to donate. The address is 3141 North Cedar in Fresno, and the zip code is 93703.
Well, as we all know, time doesn't always heal wounds, and this next story is proof of that. 12-year-old Ruben Pena was tragically murdered exactly 1 year ago. Today, his friends and his family held a candlelight vigil. Ben Moore was there.
One by one, family and friends stopped by this Fresno cemetery to remember 12-year-old Ruben Pena.
I remember last year it was in the hospital. This year he's here in the grave, and it's already here. That's why I thought about him.
Exactly 1 year ago, Ruben's 15-year-old neighbor shot and killed him. Realizing that Ruben was gone forever, his family decided to donate his organs so that a piece of Ruben could continue to live on. Ruben's organs went to 3 different recipients. Tonight, Denise Kinder of the California Transport Donor Network read a letter from a 41-year-old woman who received Ruben's liver.
I think what impacted me the most was when she said to Ruben, "I will do the best I can for you. You gave me strength, courage, and appreciation of life. I hope that I will make you proud."
What can I say? I'm happy they're living. What I did and what my son did, it's going to keep on going.
The night ended with a candlelight vigil. Friends cried while they played Ruben's favorite songs. His brother says it makes his family feel good, knowing that 1 year later, Ruben is still loved by so many people.
Yes, I'm glad he's here. My brother had much love for me, too.
Ruben Pena may be gone, but he is definitely not forgotten. In Fresno, Ben Moore, the 10 o'clock news.
15-year-old Robert Artiega, the boy convicted of shooting and killing Pena, is currently serving a 13-year sentence at the California Youth Authority. On a much lighter note now, each and every year, thousands of people get lots of enjoyment out of going to a stroll down Christmas Tree Lane. But did you ever stop to ask yourself how they get the bright lights way up into the trees? Well, you know what? Sean Caglia has the answer for you, because he is, in fact, the answer man. Caglia gave us a bird's-eye view of the 70-plus feet he goes up to hang the lights on the 200 trees stretching over that 2-mile lane. Tomorrow marks the 77th year for Christmas Tree Land, or Lane, if you will. It'll be open to foot traffic only tomorrow. Vehicles are going to be welcome on Friday and thereon in. A tradition here in the Fresno area.
Looking forward to seeing it. And any day is a great day to go Christmas shopping. I know that, Kopi.
Well, it certainly is, I'll tell you. With the clouds overhead, it was a nice day to go Christmas shopping. And my gosh, look at the Taylors enjoying the beautiful, beautiful afternoon at the mall. As far as the weather for tomorrow, is it Christmas shopping weather? Well, it doesn't make any difference. It's the season to shop, but the weather will look like this. 44, we have a chance of a sprinkle or two tomorrow morning, and then by 12 o'clock, 59 and 61, more clouds moving in. Let's take a look and see what the air quality is going to be like tomorrow. Goody, goody, goody. We like that. And as far as the allergy situation, Dr. Boz tells us today we had pollen, and it was actually very low with a little bit of pine out there, and the mold finally came down.
Finally.
Finally.
Yeah.
Guess what? There was some rain in California today. Not here in the valley, but I'll tell you. You know, that's why I'm in this business. I know when it rains in the valley and when it doesn't. But I'll be back in a little while to tell you when the rain will arrive in the valley, because take out those umbrellas.
I can't wait for that, Mr. Answer Man.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. A new study about estrogen, and it concerns all of you men out there. That's right, all of you men. Also, a new twist in the nanny case in Massachusetts. Find out what happened in court today.
But first, tonight, the tense situation comes to a bloody end in the city of San Jose.
You're watching the Valley's only primetime newscast with John Mallows, J.D. McClyber, Kobe Soteropoulos with weather, and Ralph Wood sports. The KMPH 10 o'clock news will continue in a moment. Tonight's seasonal allergy report is brought to you by Dr. Boz at the Asthma and Allergy Center.
Thanks for the truck, Dad. What'd you do? Not much. Where'd you go? Kurtz? You still talking about moving that old barn? No.
The best long-term quality of any full-size pickup belongs to Chevy.
Got a scratch?
No. Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Idea. Help me find gifts for under $30.
Hey, Richard! How are ya?
Hello.
Clear the way, Best Buy Idea Box coming through.
Hello.
Grab one of these.
I love Ghostbusters.
Clean your car out.
Music.
Video games.
No, this is not.
That's only $30. Wow, a CD player.
Very cool.
Headphones, computer software.
Perfect. Ooh.
Richard, sit down.
Those are under $30. Can you believe that?
Gifts under $30 at Best Buy. Now that's a great idea.
Spend your lunch hour staying informed with News Radio 107.5, where you'll get weather and traffic together every 10 minutes. The worst thing about domestic violence is not knowing you're the victim.
I like you, Mom.
And all new Cops, Saturday at 8, 7 Central.
A family feud in San Jose ended in a bloody shootout today. This was the scene after police were called in. First, police found a dead body on the sidewalk outside the house. Then police say they were afraid the killer was holding a hostage inside. So they surrounded it with heavily armed officers and a SWAT team. When they entered the home, they found two more bodies, a man and a woman, and no gunman. Police think the dead man inside the house was the killer. The suspected gunman was a member of one of the families sharing the house.
In Kentucky, investigators hope to make yet another arrest in the next day or two in connection with a shooting that killed 3 people there. Earlier today, the McCracken County Sheriff said he had a gut feeling, but no evidence, no proof yet. More than one person was involved. The sheriff says he's still interviewing witnesses and other students to see if his theory might be true. A 14-year-old student faces charges of murder, attempted murder, and burglary. 3 students died in that gunfire on Monday, and 5 others were wounded. Today, authorities released a chilling official recording of that shooting.
911, what is your emergency?
We have had, I think, gunfire. This is Barbara McGinty.
Okay, where's the shot fired? Where?
In the lobby.
Where? In the lobby of the high school?
In the lobby of the high school.
Ma'am, is anyone injured?
I think so.
How many people are injured?
At least one.
One person injured?
Yes.
Okay.
Too critical, sir, too critically. Okay, we've got at least 3 down.
The 3 girls who died will be buried on Friday.
Well, the untimely death of one of those girls will give an Indiana man a new lease on life. 42-year-old Tom Herford will receive Nicole Hadley's lungs. Herford's lungs were reportedly in terrible shape, and he was only able to walk a few steps without using an oxygen machine. Herford is still recovering from surgery. Nicole's parents say she was a giving person and would have wanted to help give others life. In Massachusetts, smiles and giggles today from au pair Louise Woodward. A judge decided not to order her back to prison right away. Instead, the judge sent the appeals in her case directly to the full state Supreme Court. Prosecutors want to reinstate Woodward's murder conviction for the death of Matthew Eapen. A Superior Court judge later reduced that conviction to manslaughter. Woodward's attorneys say their client has served her time and should be able to go home to England.
In Missouri, the jury saw some evidence today that looked eerily like a black and white version of the TV show Miami Vice. We warn you now, you may find the video we're about to show you very graphic. Here was the scene in a hotel room as an FBI informant tried to bait a drug dealer into a sting operation. Instead, the dealer comes in and shoots the agent. Suddenly, FBI agents burst through a second door and they fire at the drug dealer. This graphic video was shown during the murder trial of a man named Michael Albanese. Prosecutors say he's responsible for the murder of the drug dealer, even though Albanese was in his car when the drug dealer entered the room. Under Missouri law, Albanese can still be charged with murder, even though he wasn't at the scene. In Virginia, a bomb killed a pregnant woman outside of her apartment earlier today. Authorities say that Tammy Lynn Baker never knew what hit her when the bomb exploded as she picked something up off the sidewalk. The explosion blew off Baker's hand and damaged her apartment and her car. Investigators say that Baker lived in the apartment alone and was due to give birth on January the 15th. Police haven't identified any suspects in the bombing.
Who and how? That's what Miami authorities are asking about a woman who appears to have mysteriously fallen from the sky. Someone found her body on a garden wall at an apartment complex. Police think she may have fallen from an airplane, but they don't know who she is or how she died. President Clinton's taking his town hall meetings on the road once again. He's tackling a very tough issue, America's race problem. Today, the president asked for straight answers, and as Fox's Jim Engel reports, that's exactly what he got.
6 months into a year-long effort, President Clinton is trying to breathe some life into his race initiative. In the first of a series of town hall meetings, the president told participants to imagine they're sitting around drinking coffee.
Don't say this in the way you think it's most proper. Say this, whatever you have to say, in the way you think it's most honest.
One biracial student said he thinks about race only when he is treated differently, like the suspicion he gets when he tries to cash a check.
People only realize half of who I am, and they only think about what I look like, that I just basically the stereotypical things, other than I'm an educated person.
Another student acknowledged being a little wary if he sees a poorly dressed black man approaching him on the street, but he thinks most of the problem is generational.
Those people are the older people, the older generations, 30s, 40s, 50s, and up.
One of the scholars at the gathering, a critic of racial preferences, said these less racially conscious young people are a good example of how America is changing.
That ordinary Americans, black and white, are living together, they're working together, they're dining together, they're forming interracial friendships.
America, she said, is outgrowing its racial past. President Clinton said he agreed, but that there is still a lot to do.
There are a lot of highly intelligent people with a lot of money who still have bigoted hearts.
We have to change the way we live, the president said. But how? There was disagreement here over whether affirmative action is the best way to right old wrongs. So after an honest, even friendly exchange, there were still big differences over how to end racism. With the president in Akron, Jim Engel, Fox News.
And as you well know, racial problems have been on everyone's mind here in the city of Fresno, and now the city is getting involved trying to squash the racial tension right here in the San Joaquin Valley. Residents in our area say the race problem in Fresno needs to be addressed.
Yeah, I do. I think it's a big problem. Because just the other day my husband got beat up because he was a Mexican going into a white barn. So.
Are you glad to see that the city is getting involved?
Yes, yes, I do think it's a good idea that we're getting all involved, that that program is getting involved with all the leaders. There is a hate crimes going on here in Fresno.
Well, it's good that we're talking about hate crimes.
Right.
Well, it's good that we're talking about prejudice. I hope it'll work. I'm pretty upset every time I see prejudice, every time I see people hurt each other.
Every person that we talked to said that racial problems do exist here in the Central Valley, and they believe the city should do more to find better solutions. When you're talking about sexual harassment, the gender of the assailant and the victim is irrelevant. That seems to be the view of many Supreme Court justices these days. They heard arguments today in a case of a Louisiana oil rig worker who says his male supervisor harassed him. Joseph Onkale filed complaints with the EEOC outlining how co-workers grabbed him, held him, and threatened to have sex with him. The justices will conduct their initial secret vote later this week. A final decision is due by July.
Dozens of nations signed a treaty in Canada to ban anti-personnel landmines. That story tops World Wrap tonight. The United States, Russia, and China did not sign, but did send representatives to the Ottawa conference. Iran and Iraq and Israel didn't sign either. World leaders will put their signatures on the pact over the next 2 days. Canada was the first to sign the treaty. In Israel, 700,000 workers didn't show up to work. It's all part of a nationwide strike. Israel's labor federation is at odds with Treasury officials over pension rights and privatization issues. That state economy could lose as much as $1 million a day during the strike.
Also tonight, an attempt on the life of Patriarch Bartholomew, the spiritual leader of the Orthodox Church around the world. A bomb was tossed into the Cathedral of St. George tonight, the leading center of the Greek Orthodox Church in Istanbul, Turkey. The bomb did not go off immediately. The Patriarch was not hurt because he was not in the building at the time of the bombing. But a deacon of the church hurt his right shoulder. The Patriarch is the leader of more than 250 million Orthodox people around the world. And recently, on November 10th, you may recall, I interviewed him exclusively during his trip to Stockton. Finally, in Germany, hundreds of Santas and their angelic friends met at Berlin University to undergo some serious seasonal training. About 300 Santas or so and 80 angels sang Christmas carols there, and they learned the tricks of the trade from the more seasoned veterans, as you might imagine. The student angels and Santas are for hire on Christmas Eve for about, $53 or so. It seems a little low to me.
It does.
Yeah, I wonder if that's union scale. I'm not sure.
They're probably worth a lot more than that. Ralph joins us now with a quick look at sports.
Yes, and this Latrell Sprewell thing takes a dramatic turn just within the hour tonight. The Warriors took a drastic and unprecedented step this evening in dealing with Latrell Sprewell within the hour, terminating his $32 million contract for insubordination, severing his ties with the team, and we probably have not heard the last of it. Meanwhile, in his first interview since assaulting head coach P.J. Carlissimo on Monday, Sprewell tonight admits he made a mistake, but says he was provoked.
And it's definitely not something that I condone, but it did happen. It's a mistake I made, and I'm just trying to move forward right at this point. But PJ and I think it's been known for some time now that we haven't been on good terms, and it's been over a month or so now, and I just couldn't take a lot of the verbal abuse that he has been, I guess, just giving all of the guys.
He seemed like he was on the verge of tears there.
Well, I'll tell you what, he admitted that he threatened to kill his coach during that confrontation and says that if he's shunned by other NBA teams, that he will try and play in Europe. Now, the Warriors made this move tonight really not knowing what's going to happen because they did it without prior approval of the NBA. So we'll have to see if the league does anything to overturn this ruling or change it somewhat, or if Latrell Sprewell has played his last game with the Warriors. The Warriors say he has.
Definitely tension there, I'm sure.
Do you think the Players Association might challenge this?
I doubt it at this point.
Yeah.
But this was a drastic move that no one expected.
Okay, Ralph.
We'll see you later. Estrogen isn't just for women anymore. That story and a whole lot more. You're watching the 10 o'clock news.
Still ahead on the 10 o'clock news, doctors have a new tool to determine whether you're having a heart attack. And we'll tell you about Sanger's claim to Christmas fame. Then, Christmas greetings from Vox.
Choosing new office copiers. It's your decision, your reputation. Decision NETA. From California Business Machines. NETA. Reliable, high-performance copiers. California Business Machines. People who understand your business and today's technology. People who help you make the right decision and make you look good. Better choice, better decision. Decision NETA and California Business Machines.
Need a unique holiday gift?
All the integral stuff that I truly learned about performing, I got here at GCP. That's the truth. I got it all here.
How about seeing the next rising star?
Oh, I'm always amazed at the great work that they do here at Roger Rocco's.
Because that's the gift you'll be giving with Roger Rocco's gift certificates for the 1998 Good Company Players season. They're the easy, affordable gift that says you care. Available now for as low as $25.
I'm very, very proud to have been a part of it.
Get your 1998 gift certificates at these locations today.
Can you help me, please? I just purchased this Macintosh. I need to add some memory. Hello? Customer service, can you help me? Please. Hello? I just need to add some memory.
Got a Mac? Then go to TechSource, where everything's Macintosh. From computers to software, upgrades, and accessories. How about a 64 meg DIMM, now only $199? Or Mac OS 8, $79.95. For your only Macintosh Superstore. TechSource.
Shopping for the holidays. Phew, the crowds, the parking. Of course, you don't have to go through all that. At Orchard, the wrapping is free and the shopping is easy. It's the place Smart Santa's shop first. Orchard, one-stop holiday shopping.
Now at Orchard, save $5 on the Brita water filtration system. Your choice, $19.99. And the Coffee Butler or Commuter Mug by Thermos. Your choice, $9.97. Orchard, one-stop holiday shopping.
In tonight's Health Matters, is it a heart attack or just gas? Sometimes the diagnosis may even be tough for doctors. Even a normal EKG can't guarantee you're not at risk for a heart attack. A new blood test for two heart proteins called troponin I and troponin T can help give doctors an evaluation. These proteins are released when heart damage has occurred. Some new technology developed by NASA can help diagnose and fight breast cancer. The new technique gives a clearer and more accurate view of a breast tumor. It allows surgeons to get a better picture of the tumor before they go in to operate on a patient. It gives a clear three-dimensional image of the breast tissue. The doctor actually puts on 3D glasses and is able to look at the tumor from a number of angles. Designer estrogens seem to be strengthening older women's bones without some of the side effects caused by the real thing. A study shows that bone mineral density among women who took raloxifene was about 2% greater than women who had been given a placebo. Raloxifene is the first designer estrogen approved last month by the Food and Drug Administration. And speaking of estrogen, it's not just for women anymore. A new study showed estrogen helped male mice stay fertile and may do the same in men. The whole discussion is timely because of recent claims that some environmental chemicals may be reducing sperm counts in otherwise healthy males by disrupting hormonal signaling. Another potential use for the study might be to help in the development of a male contraceptive.
And can you imagine the people listening to this story and watching tonight? The sale of estrogen is going to go up through the roof.
It's not so bad, yeah. Yeah, mice. If it weren't for mice, where would we be, right? We do all these studies on mice, and it's just interesting to me.
Well, anytime I see a mouse or mice together, I get a cat. And I just...
Well, maybe next time you can donate them to science.
The big question tonight, what is next for Eddie D? Eddie DeBartolo of the 49ers. That story coming up later in our show. Also tonight, find out how the bigwigs at the Fox Network are getting into the holiday spirit.
Plus, how do you know the money you donate to charity is in fact going to that charity?
Some fun tonight. Coming up on the next Vibe, we're bearing it all to bring you the best in late night entertainment. Get ready to scream for David Arquette of Scream 2. I come out. Women be screaming, women be screaming. Plus, it's time to groove with recording artist Too Short featuring Baby D. We're gonna rock the house on the next Vibe. Tonight at 11 on Fox 46.
It's a beautiful day here at Disneyland, where Joe Montana's ready to lead his Mervyn's team in some real action. Here's Joe going deep into It's a Small World holiday. Now he's rolling back in the teacups. And now Joe's dropping into the pocket on Splash Mountain. And here's Joe running a crisscross pattern. It's one for the record books.
You can win one of 50 family vacations for 4 to Disneyland with Joe Montana. Just go to Mervyn's, California for the whole game plan.
Max battles to defend the Savior.
We're going to need some character witnesses. How many of the apostles can you round up?
An all-new living single Thursday at 8/7 Central.
At home at work, or in your car. Stay informed 24 hours a day with News Radio 107.5. When news breaks out, we break in. This portion of the 10 o'clock news is brought to you by Key Health, serving a different kind of California.
They say Californians are shallow. They all eat tofu and go on fad diets. That the most common medical procedure is plastic surgery, and that the state animal is a jaguar, XJ6. They say the only things that get done here are hair and fingernails. Obviously, they are not from around here, like we are at Key Health. And because we know you so well, we know best how to treat you. Key Health, serving a different kind of California.
State Attorney General Dan Lundgren released his annual report of commercial fundraising activities. The report says that less than 37 cents of every dollar raised by commercial fundraisers last year actually went to charities. As Janet Yee reports now, during such a giving time of year, you should find out where your dollars are going.
'Tis the season, Christmas, a time for charity, but who's getting what you're giving?
Less than 37 cents of every dollar raised by commercial fundraisers in California actually went to a charitable purpose.
This Auburn Boulevard car lot, for example, operates behind the banner Foundation for Abused Children. The owner won't say how much he's put toward that cause, and under a law called protected activity, he doesn't have to. Maybe you can just tell us what's going on. Ron Higgerson will take your car donations, but he won't take our questions. Higgerson did tell us, I work 7 days a week and don't take a salary. My intention is to open a shelter for battered women and children. Now, true or not, the state attorney general can't step in.
Under the law, we are not able to take any action specifically based on the amount of money that's returned to the charity.
Now, the state can't regulate, but you can investigate. So before you give your car away or otherwise donate to charity, you might want to consider a check other than from the bank.
How much of my money would go to, like, your salary or fundraising or things like that?
If a charity can't answer basic questions, the AG says be suspicious. Charities should readily have financial statements available, proof of registration, and overhead figures on hand.
Our criteria says that you have to have administrative overhead of 25% or less.
The United Way can set its own standards because it's a private agency. The Sacramento chapter is an umbrella for 189 charities in 5 Valley counties.
We look at it and make sure if you said you were going to be putting X amount of kids into child care, we want to make sure you've done that.
The Attorney General's charity report comes out every year. It's not meant to dampen the holiday spirit, rather to increase caution at Christmas. In Sacramento, Janet Yee, Fox News.
Well, 'tis the season. Artie Americas threw a Christmas bash in Fresno tonight. About 1,000 people showed up for the Fiesta Navidad, or a Christmas party, if you will. A mariachi band and dancers took to the stage, and during the show, the dancers took the audience on a Christmas journey through different parts of Mexico. Artie Americas hopes to bring more shows like this to Fresno.
And it's something we wanted to bring to Fresno, and that's what Arte Americas is trying to do, bring things to Fresno that don't ordinarily come here. So this is a stretch for us.
And tonight's show raised money for Arte Americas. Tickets went for $15 to $25.
The nation's Christmas tree city lit up its own tree tonight.
2, 1, let the tree be lit.
This is the 14th annual tree lighting in the city of Sanger. It is known as the Christmas Tree City because of its annual trek to the General Grant tree in the Sequoia National Forest. But while residents are in town, they can enjoy this tree in a downtown park. St. Mary's Youth Choir was also on hand tonight to add extra spirit to the tree lighting. The annual trek to General Grant's tree will take place December 14th. Sure was a pretty tree.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to see the lighting of that tree, because last night, if you recall, if you were with us, we did not see the tree lighting here in Fresno at City Hall.
Must have been too dark.
Yes, it was dark.
Anyway.
It's always dark at night, Kofi.
That's why I'm in weather. All right, I tell you, clouds came in today. We were looking for maybe a sprinkle or two. Didn't quite happen, but it looks like as we move into the rest of this week and the weekend, the rain will start coming down. Let's take a look and see what kind of conditions we're having in Fresno right now as these great kids get to talk to Santa Claus, and I got a feeling they've been good all year long. Currently outside, it is 47 degrees, the dew point at 42, and the winds out of the southeast
Well, how about that? Well, let's take a look and see what kind of temperatures we had today. Fresno, 64, about 7 degrees above normal. 69 down in Bakersfield and 46 in Yosemite Valley. And for the folks in Sanger, 60 degrees, 61 in Merced, and 60 down in Delano. Well, folks, we have a little bit of rain through California today, but most of it in the northern part of the state. As you can see, this rain came moving across here. Brought about a quarter of an inch up in Crescent City, down to several hundredths through the Bay Area. Not much to speak of, and it has gradually moved over the northern Sierra Nevada. Nothing really down here in the valley. And where did all that rain come from? From these clouds that moved across ahead of this epic right here. And this is what we're going to keep an eye on, because it is going to bring us some conditions as we move into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that I think you should all be well aware of. Let's take a look and see on the big map right now. This is the system that we are keeping an eye on. It is expected to bring us anywhere from a half an inch to about an inch and a half of rainfall from Friday through Sunday. But there are a couple of variables in what's going on, and I'm going to explain that to you right now. The northern jet stream is dipping down nice and deep down here and bringing this system into California. The other thing that's going on, we have the southern jet stream down here. We could pick up some subtropical moisture along with this system. As this spins around, kind of sucks up some of this stuff up into the valley. Now, this system right here may dip a little further south than anticipated, which means the brunt of the system will go down into Southern California, starting late Friday into Saturday and Sunday. That could cause some problems for folks down in Southern California, some heavy surf, even some coastal flooding. But if that doesn't happen, this should come in by Friday night. We should start having some rainfall through Saturday and Sunday. As far as conditions for Northern California for tomorrow, this is what those folks can expect. Look for 59 in Sacramento, some light snow in the higher elevations of the northern Sierra Nevada, partly cloudy with some scattered showers, 62 in San Francisco. Southern California, partly cloudy in the morning, increasing clouds in the afternoon, 70 at the Civic Center. Across the rest of the country today, a little bit of snow through the Rockies and in Denver, Colorado. Those folks got hit pretty hard, as you can see. The snow came down, caused quite a few accidents for the folks in that part of Colorado, but that system gradually has made its way out of Colorado. Let's take a look and see the rainfall through the southeast, anywhere from an inch in Houston to about 2 inches in Macon, Georgia. This system moving all the way across some light snow through the northern plains. Tomorrow, look for a high of 62 in Kingsburg and a few morning sprinkles, possibly 62 in Porterville, and for the folks in Hanford, 61 and 63 in Bakersfield. Tonight, some light rain showers are possible, a low of 44. Tomorrow, we are expected to have partly cloudy skies. I'm visiting the kids at Vinland School, high of 62, 5-day forecast. Looks like this. And here comes the rain, folks, starting Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then Monday, lightening up just a little bit, a few thunder showers possible on Sunday with a high of 61. So rain's on the way. You know, it depends what cloud you're under as far as how heavy it'll be for you.
A good weekend to stay indoors and light a fire and kick back and relax.
Saturday looks cool, too, the temperature-wise.
Yeah, but don't forget the parade Saturday.
Bundle up and come watch us, right? Well, some local organizations are getting an early Christmas present. Also find out why Republicans are whispering about a former Fresno City Councilman's new job.
Hey, Leonard. What? Did you hear? Hear what? The California lottery's got way better scratchers. Way what? Way better. Than what? Than before. Before what? Before they got way better. No way. Yes, way.
Way more money and additional prizes. Way more convenient because you can cash them at any lottery retailer, not just where you bought them. And new Holiday Way Better scratchers make great gifts. And gift bags, too.
Oh, way. Yeah, way.
Fragrance for treasured moments. Trésor, Lancôme, Paris. Choose a gold or silver evening bag filled with holiday color. Your gift with any $20 Lancôme purchase. Now at Macy's.
If you're driving without auto insurance because you've been canceled, refused, had too many tickets, had an accident, or are a new driver, Insurance Express can brighten your day. All it takes is a phone call to Insurance Express for a low-cost phone quote. Just call Insurance Express at 1-800-530-6200.
At Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, the things our chairs can do go. In short, your choice will do anything but just sit there. It's not too late to get Lazy Boy furniture in time for the holidays. That is, as long as you get over to Lazy Boy Furniture Gallery's holiday sale before we, well, wrap things up.
The exhibit hall fiasco may hurt the city in more ways than just stalled construction costs. Large conferences that booked conventions in Fresno are now backing out. The California Reading Association is the first to back out. The group told the city it will not bring its 7,000-member delegation to Fresno in the year 2003. Construction on the $28 million exhibit hall came to a stop in May. That's when developer Bud Long failed to get bank financing. The city already invested $2.5 million into the hall. The city wants to take over the project from Long, but they must first go to court to gain control of the site from the developer. Brian Sentensich is back in the news again thanks to a new job in San Francisco. The former speaker and Fresno City Council member will make $65,000 a year as the city's 911 emergency services liaison. In 1994, Sentensich cut a political deal with Democrat Willie Brown, despite objections by his own party. The deal gave Sentensich the speakership in the Assembly in exchange for keeping Democrats in power. The move angered Republicans, and the party ultimately forced Sentensich out of office. Sentensich says his new job is not payback for his compromise.
Well, Christmas comes early for some local organizations. Because of a failed Arts to Zoo initiative, $3.9 million will be up for grabs for local art and cultural projects. The money was to be refunded to taxpayers, but the refund period finally expired.
The Board of Equalization. Those are the dollars that they're now returning to us. They were collected here in Fresno, and they're going to be spent here in Fresno for the purposes of the original Arts to Zoo initiative. And that's a real Christmas present for us, isn't it?
The money will be handed out next August.
Ralphson again to talk about sports, and anxious to see the Bulldogs play again. They're having a good season so far.
They're actually anxious to be practicing, I think. That's what Jerry Tarkanian loves, the element of practice. He gets tied up in knots during games, but he enjoys practice, and he's getting plenty of opportunity. Coming up in sports, this week's edition of the Coach's Corner with Jerry Tarkanian. We'll also have all tonight's scores and highlights from basketball, and in football, turmoil at the top for the 49ers, but a welcome sight on the field as Jerry Rice returns to practice. Sports is next.
You can forget about worms and lures. The California fighting fish knows his native cheese, and that is a fact. Well, I caught this beauty here on a nice California cheddar. This one took Monterey Jack. That big monster there, he hit a ball of mozzarella. Wham! What the deal of Rob Letter? My hands. Eat them. This one gobbled up some Gouda. Now that one over there.
Wisconsin stuff?
Bingo.
Look for the Rio, California. It's the cheese.
It seems people are finding the Men's Warehouse a good place to do their holiday shopping. After all, we have just the kind of things people are looking for, from tuxedos to stocking stuffers. And because we carry many of the same designer brands as department stores, but for 20 to 30% less, it's easy to find the perfect gift for practically anyone, including yourself.
The Men's Warehouse.
You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
On Fox, NFL Sunday, Brad Johnson leads Minnesota into a pivotal showdown with Steve Young in San Francisco as the Vikings look to join the NFL's elite, but they'll have to shut down the 49er attack. Check it out on the NFL on Fox.
Left hand red. Left hand blue. Ronnie, put a little body action in that thing.
The doubleheader action begins this week at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Check local listings.
Word association. I say craftsman, you say tools. I say Orchard.
Where you'll find the Craftsman Easy Fix Home Repair Kit is just $29.97.
Orchard, one-stop holiday shopping.
'Tis the season for a California Futon's Christmas. A long winter's rest would be great in the oak for just $4.99. A glow-in-the-dark sofa futon, just $79. CD rack starting at $69. And bean bags at just $39. It's a California Futon's Christmas on Shaw, across from Super K.
It will be business as usual for the NFL San Francisco 49ers, despite the fact team owner Eddie DeBartolo has stepped down as chairman and CEO in the wake of legal problems. 49ers President Carmen Policy today said DeBartolo's anticipated indictment for gambling fraud in Louisiana will not affect the day-to-day operations of the team, nor should it impact the Niners' proposed stadium project. DeBartolo, who maintains his innocence, met privately with the players this morning. While it's been a rough week for the 49ers, they did enjoy positive signs today when All-Pro receiver Jerry Rice returned to practice for the first time since tearing a knee ligament in the season opener, and former Fresno State star Marquez Pope also returned after a long layoff, giving the team a much-needed lift.
We're going to have fun this week and get back into the swing of things for both of us, and I think it's going to be good that now the team, can respond a little different, due to last week's loss. And, I think Jerry's going to bring a little more enthusiasm back and really help out the young players and make sure that they're staying on top of their game at this critical point of the season.
This coming Sunday, the Niners host Minnesota, and it will be Randall Cunningham at quarterback for the Vikings. The veteran gets the call after an examination today revealed starter Brad Johnson has a herniated disc in his neck and will miss the rest of the year after surgery tomorrow. In baseball news, pitcher Wilson Alvarez has left the Giants for a free agent deal with the expansion Tampa Bay Devil Rays. The left-handed starter gets $35 million over 5 years. The deal includes a no-trade clause. In the NBA tonight, the Lakers on the road at Denver, and they made the Nuggets look like fool's gold. Then again, it's been that kind of season for Denver. Just one win now in 15 games. A nightmare for first-year head coach Bill Hanslick. 6 Lakers scored in double figures tonight, led by Eldon Campbell, who had 25 points and a dozen rebounds. And Los Angeles lays it on Denver, rolling to a 106-87 rout. The Lakers improved to 14-2, while the Nuggets are 1-14. Also tonight, in their first game since the Sprewell incident, the Warriors were crushed by Cleveland 95-67, then terminated Sprewell's contract. Michael Jordan's 29 led the Bulls past Boston 97-87. 14 straight losses for Toronto, beaten by Utah 115-98. Seattle stopped New Jersey 93-89. It was Miami over Philadelphia 94-90, while Detroit shaded the Suns in triple overtime 108-103. Finally, Orlando won at Vancouver 101-97. The Pacers popped Minnesota 94-90. Big game in college basketball tonight had 6th-ranked Purdue taking on number 7 Kentucky at the Grade 8 in Chicago. Intense. Head coach Gene Cady watched his Boilermakers hold the lead in the first half before bowing to a balanced attack by the Wildcats. They had 4 players score in double figures, led by big man Nazir Muhammad with 19 points. Wayne Turner added 14 as the Cats pulled away in the second half, and 7th-ranked Kentucky closes out the Grade 8 with a bang, beating number 6 Purdue 89-75. Yeah, isn't that scary? The Wildcats are now 5-1 on the year, while the Boilermakers fall to 5-2. Another top 25 games tonight. Number 1 ranked Duke all over North Carolina Greensboro, 93-37. It was 3rd-ranked North Carolina with an 81-72 win over Louisville, while Connecticut whipped West Virginia 88-75. Number 24, Wake Forest dumped Davidson 61-56. Princeton beat North Carolina Wilmington 63-50. The Fresno State women's basketball team lost at Nevada Reno tonight 63-50. Nobody scored in double figures for the Bulldogs, who are now 2-3. Meanwhile, the 16th-ranked Fresno State men's team continues to hammer away on the practice floor in preparation for next Tuesday night's game at Temple. We'll hear from Jerry Tarkanian in the Coach's Corner after this timeout.
My kind of town, Seattle is.
I gotta admit, this has got Frank Sinatra written all over it.
I did it Martin's way.
She's such a groovy lady. She still has that nice contemporary sound.
The Sultan of Swoon. The chairman of the board.
After 4 hours, your vomiting bars sound a lot like your Scooby-Doo Bop Band.
On Frasier.
Thursday at 7:30 on Fox 26.
If you're gonna eat a juicy new Carl's Jr. top-boiled sirloin steak sandwich, be careful. It's a jungle out there. If it doesn't get all over the place, it doesn't doesn't belong in your face.
The Miller Genuine Draft Coaches Corner, brought to you by the Pacific Bell Smart Yellow Pages, California's leading directory. So many ads, so much information. If you can't do it with this, maybe it can't be done.
Welcome to Jerry Tarkanian's Coach's Corner. The Bulldogs suffering their first defeat of the season earlier this week on the weekend out on the road, actually a neutral court, losing to Arkansas, which is probably nothing to be ashamed of. But then again, Tark, you don't really feel like you played the best game down there, do you?
No, you know, Arkansas is a fine ball club, and they have a great program. Noah Richardson's a great coach. You know, I give them all the credit in the world. But, you know, we're not together. You know, we just haven't practiced enough. We haven't played enough. We're still in transition. We're still trying to get to know each other. Our guys just haven't played enough, practiced enough together. That's our big problem. You know, we had a couple guys who didn't have good games, but those things are going to happen. I think our big problem was we let their press bother us too much. But you know, we only worked on the press a little bit. We haven't had the time. In their zone defense, which was the amoeba zone of all things, which is our zone, they copied our zone and they made it work against us, and we didn't even have a zone in yet. We're still a team that's trying to put the pieces together. You know, you don't miss 3 weeks practice and then, okay, you're eligible to play, and then now you play. When you play, you're 3 weeks behind. You're 3 weeks behind as far as your organization, as far as your chemistry, as far as your execution. And we're paying a price for all that. But, you know, it's something something that we just got to do. We got to put everything together right. That's going to take some time.
You are now going to be with Chris Herron for some time. Does that allow someone else to step forward on your team?
Yeah, Willie came in and played very, very well. And, you know, Willie, not only did he play well offensively, but Willie's a great defender, and I feel real comfortable with that. But what's going to happen now when Chris comes back, you know, then we're going to have to teach Chris everything that we've been doing for these 2 or 3 weeks that he's not there. And, you know, it's just been one thing after another. But the one thing that is saving us is our kids work so hard. Our kids practice so hard. I was really proud the way the kids worked on Friday before the game, and I thought they played real hard in the game. We didn't play real well, but we played real hard. And we had a chance of beating a very fine ball club if that last shot would have gone in.
One of the positive things about that game was the play of Andre Jones.
Well, Andre's worked hard. He worked hard in our conditioning. He's worked hard in our practices. I'm very proud of Andre. I really am. And I just hope he continues the whole season, because if he does, he's a big-time player.
When we come back, we'll talk about the next 2 games coming up for the Bulldogs.
Can you throw a Greek birthday party in 24 hours?
The Pacific Bell Smart Yellow Pages.
I think we can do it.
We can do that. Salonika.
Fine Greek cuisine.
You're the House of Greek Beverages?
Greek import.
Hi. We found you in the Smart Yellow Pages. Could you explain to me about baklava? This is a shredded pillow. I do want to get the 5-piece band with the baby bouzouki, the drums, and the guitar. Say Yahoo! I'll make sure I do that. Yahoo!
The Pacific Bell Smart Yellow Pages. If you can't do it with this, maybe it can't be done.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner with Jerry Tarkanian. The Bulldogs have a lot of time to prepare for the next couple of games, but both of those are going to be on the road, and the first one not going to be fun at all at Temple, although, you know, that might be a nice experience for some. It's going to be tough for the visiting team there when they're opening their new arena.
Right, they're opening their new arena. They've got a sellout crowd. It'll be a crazy place, but it'll be a great challenge for our guys. And, you know, I think our guys will rise to the occasion. I think we're going to play. I think we'll play well there.
What does Temple? What kind of problems does Temple pose?
They have a zone defense that they're famous for. They call it a matchup zone. I think it's more of just a conventional zone, but it's very aggressive. The coach plays it all the time. He plays it every game, all year long. And John Chaney's a great coach. They do a great job in it.
They want to control the tempo of that game, and you don't want to let them.
And they don't turn the ball over. Every year they lead the nation in fewest turnovers because they play a controlled game. John's he'll try to slow the game up as much as he can. He'll try to spread us out a lot. You know, when you play Chaney, when you play John Chaney's teams, you know what you're going to play against. There's no tricks involved. It's just a matter of executing.
Now, he's going to have played 2 games in this span of time that you will have to prepare for him. Who do you think has the advantage?
Well, you know, if you have your team from the beginning of practice, it's great to play a couple of games now because that keeps you in flow. But if you're a team like we are, it's great to have this practice because this is what we need. So I think the week off is great for us, and I think their playing 2 games is great for them. So I think it's probably working out to both teams' advantage.
Then you're going to come back to California and play Pacific, which is almost a similar team. They're kind of structured as well.
And Pacific is a all-pattern team with a great center, and again, that's going to be a crazy place up there. They're already sold out, and it's just, you know, we got some tough games ahead of us, but we just got to put it together. We got to get tough in the head and go play.
So you've got some tough kids who can get it done, you think?
I like our guys. They work very, very hard. I like them. I like the intensity that they bring to the court with them. I like their concentration. I like the fact that they're focused. Now we just got to execute. That's all.
Coach, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
The Miller Genuine Draft Coach's Corner, brought to you by the Pacific Bell Smart Yellow Pages, California's leading directory. So many ads, so much information. If you can't do it with this, maybe it can't be done.
It should be a great game next Tuesday. It'll be on ESPN, not here on Fox 26, unfortunately. But we'll still give you the scores and the highlights. Everyone's getting into the Christmas season, even the executives at the Fox network. Coming up after this brief timeout, holiday jingles like you've never heard before, I'm sure.
Friday, has the visitor returned to find that his time has run out?
I've been forced to abandon my mission.
An all-new visitor. Then, why would an innocent man confess to a crime he didn't commit?
No history of violence. I was an Eagle Scout.
The answer.
I'm the only one who knows what happened that night. Why are you here? I want to help you.
Will shock you. Millennium. It all starts Friday at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
Macy's Great Gift Weekend Sale is here with lots of bright ideas for all the names on your list. A soft velour robe, a crystal vase, a necklace of gold, a weatherproof jacket, a white goose down comforter, and much more. Bright ideas priced right for giving at the Great Gift Weekend Sale, now through Sunday at Macy's, making spirits bright.
'Tis the season for a California Futon's Christmas. A long winter's rest would be great in the Oak Brook Futon for only $4.99, or double fun futon bunk beds for only $3.59. The kids will have fun with this glow-in-the-dark sofa futon, a perfect gift from Santa for $79. For the music lover, these CD racks starting at just $69. And the kids will go crazy for beanbags, and we're blowing them out for only $39. 'Tis the season for a California Futon's Christmas on Shaw, across from Super K.
Now you know what's going on in the world. Tomorrow morning, Don Imus will make you laugh about it. Catch Imus in the morning on Hot Talk 940 KFRE.
The worst thing about domestic violence is not knowing you're the victim.
I lied, you lied.
And all new Cops. Then, who murdered racing legend Mickey Thompson?
I want to point you to the real killers.
You'll be shocked at what John Walsh uncovered on America's Most Wanted. America Fights Back after Cops Saturday.
Are you ready for the ultimate white Christmas? Fox 26, your local Coca-Cola bottler and Long's Drugs want to send you to the slopes this holiday season with a brand new pair of skis and ski accessories. To enter, go to the Coca-Cola display in Long's Drugs to get your entry form. Fill it out and mail it in to Fox 26 and you may be on your way to Tahoe with hotel accommodations, lift tickets, and a complete new ski package. It's the ultimate white Christmas giveaway from Coca-Cola, Long's Drugs, and your station, Fox 26.
No purchase necessary. See display for details. Contest ends December 19th, 1997.
Fox television executives are shaking up the spirit of Christmas this year with some traditional music. That doesn't mean the lyrics are the same, though. The network recently hired a barbershop quartet to put a special holiday spin on some popular Christmas tunes. Here's a sample.
Dashing through the streets in a beat of stolen car. The cops are on the chase for bad guys near and far. Don Walsh is on the seat.
Normally, they'd be performing off-color versions of the Christmas classics, but these gentlemen carolers are keeping it clean. Fox employed them to plug its long lineup of hit TV series. The funny and irreverent versions of these holiday classics include material about The Simpsons, Party of Five, and, of course, The X-Files. The special holiday jingles will appear all month long on the Fox network, so keep an ear open. kind of catchy there.
Yeah, even I was fooled. I mean, I thought they were the actual Fox executives. They're not. They actually hired a barbershop quartet.
Younger crowd of executives probably, but not that young.
Yeah, that's why they sounded so good, because they're not the executives.
They're professional carolers.
Right. Wow, I'm glad we got that straightened out before we leave. I'm John Mellis. We'll see you tomorrow night.
I'm J.D. McClyver. Thanks for watching.
Fresh comedy with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Weekdays at 5:30 on your station, KMPH Fox 26.